Hello everyone, Micah Fights with Friends. If you are looking for predictions for UFC Fight Night 150, maybe you're looking to bet the fights, you've came to the right place. I'm Micah Fights with Friends. Please tap that like button real quick. If you're new here, make sure and subscribe so you're notified whenever I post a new video or go live like for every major UFC and Bellator event. But let's just jump right into it. We're going to break down the entire main card, starting with Roosevelt Roberts and Thomas Gifford. The first thing that jumps out at you in this fight is Roosevelt Roberts started out an overwhelming favorite, and those odds have just grown. A lot of money coming in on the undefeated Roosevelt Roberts. He is 7-0. His last 3 fights are for big-time organizations. Bellator 192, then the Dana White Contender Series, and then his last fight, a first-round finish on the Ultimate Fighter finale. First-round guillotine submission over Darren Corcher. Thomas Gifford, the young lion, 14-7, so he's got 21 fights to his credit. He has not fought in the big show yet. You see Cage Side Promotions, Coliseum Combat, Kansas City Fighting Alliance, all first-round finishes, so he's a bit of a wild card. No surprise that he comes in a big underdog here, though. I just have to go with the favorite here based on not only being undefeated, but the quality of opposition. He has seen the big show, and he has excelled. Let's break into the next fight now. Cory Sandhagen versus John Hands of Stone Lineker. I heard a lot of you guys talking about betting on Cory Sandhagen, that there was a lot of money going to be coming in on him. At least that's what I thought. But the odds for him open at plus 110 underdog. They've moved to a plus 120. John Lineker has stayed the same at minus 150. So as of this publication, when I checked last night, the odds have not changed. John Lineker is still, a marginal favorite. Let's look at Cory Sandhagen first, though. 3-fight win streak on the UFC, all finishes. 2 TKOs in the second round. His last fight was a submission armbar over Mario Batista on the Cejudo Dillashaw card, and maybe it's a case of what have you done for me lately? Maybe that's what people are looking at. They were impressed by that armbar. John Lineker, of course, he's fought the former champ, TJ Dillashaw. He went the distance. He did lose a unanimous decision. Then he came back against the beast, the tough Marlon Vera, who was right there for a title shot. Won a unanimous decision against him. His last fight, he knocked out Brian Keller in the 3rd round. I am going to go against what some of you guys are saying. I would actually advise against betting on Cory Sandhagen. I would put my money on John Lineker. I actually think that those odds could be a little bigger. I would have him closer to probably a minus 200, to be honest. Let's go to the light heavyweights, where we have a light heavyweight constant. A guy that has been around for a long time, 35 fights. He's fought most of everybody in the UFC light heavyweight division. That, of course, is Glover Teixeira. Great hands, great power. The guy has 20 finishes and 28 wins, 17 by knockout. Actually 24 finishes, 7 submissions. So he knows how to finish fights. He's won 2 out of his last 3, dropped a unanimous decision to Corey Anderson. He admitted there was a little bit of a retooling after that, came back, knocked out Carl Robertson, submitted him via arm triangle. First round, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. He knocked out Misha Serkinov in the first round, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. His opponent, Ion Cutelaba, the Hulk, He has also won 2 out of 3. The only one he dropped was to Jared Cannonier. This guy is a rising star at the Ultimate Fighter finale 24. Then he has won his last 2, knocked out Henrique de Silva, a tough guy, first round, and then got another first round knockout on the Alvarez Poirier 2 card. This is a tougher one to call because it's hard to say where Glover is in his career. I think he is on the downslide, though, to be honest. At 39 years old, he's had some shoulder injuries, a lot of injuries. And let's get into our next fight. And this one, I think, is where we could see some money be made. Mike Perry and Alex Oliveira. Mike Perry, of course, 12-4. He has lost 2 of his last 3. He was submitted by Donald Cerrone, had a split decision win over Paul Felder, and then lost a unanimous decision to Max Griffin. So tough times for him. Alex Oliveira, also coming off of a loss to Gunnar Nelson, was submitted by a guillotine in the second round. Very impressive victory by Nelson considering the Cowboys' submission skills. I'm actually going to go with the underdog in this one, Mike Perry. I think they are just putting too much emphasis on his last 2 losses, both the tough guys, and he has changed his camp up. He's changing up a lot of things that he's doing, and if I was going to put my money down, I would put it down at plus 160 on the underdog, Mike Perry. Although Alex Oliveira is a beast, and it's hard to bet against him. Trust me, I absolutely get that. Let's go into the co-main event, though. Dmitry Smolyakov facing Greg, the illegal knee Hardy. No, he really could be 3-0 easily. Of course, he landed that illegal knee against Alan Crowder in a fight. It looked like he was probably winning. Some people might argue because Alan Crowder seemed to be coming back. Greg Hardy was possibly having some cardio issues. Nonetheless, he has 2 first-round finishes. He is a big favorite, and then it's minus 265. But let's check out Dmitry. He won his last fight in Asian Challenge. He got sent from the UFC over to Asian Challenge for one fight, won by an impressive submission, Kimura. That's a rare submission at heavyweight for sure. But before that, he dropped his last 2 fights, lost to Cyril Asker, got knocked out in the first round, TKO punches and elbows, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Luis Enrique Barboza de Oliveira. On UFC on Fox 20, he was submitted by a rear naked choke. That fight against Cyril Asker, getting knocked out in 2 minutes and 41 seconds, I don't think that bodes well. I think that shows, that he's susceptible to that knockout, and that's what Greg Hardy does. That's what he's going to do coming into this. I'm going to take Greg Hardy by first round knockout, although I probably wouldn't bet unless those lines move a little bit towards Dmitry. Minus 265, that's a pretty big bet, putting down 265 to get $100. Now let's get into the main event. Now these odds have actually changed in Jacare's favor, so if you were able to get Jacare as an underdog, kudos to you. Those odds, guys, were on crack, I believe, when they made these predictions. Yes, I know Jacare Souza. He's 2-1 compared to 3-0 in his last 3 fights, but he just knocked out Chris Weidman in the third round. Looked great in doing it. Dropped a split decision to Kelvin Gastelum, who just challenged for the interim championship. Most people, including myself, and the experts, thought Jacare probably won that fight. Right before that, an impressive first-round knockout over the tough Derek Brunson. Jack Hermansson, of course, TKO Talis Latis. That is a tough undergo. Third round. After that, he gets a first-round submission guillotine. And in his last fight, of course, another submission guillotine over David Branch. Now, Jacare has never been submitted. He has an incredible submission game. He has 14 submissions of his own compared to only 5 for Jacare Souza, Jack Hermansson, even though 2 of those submissions for Jack are in his last 2 fights. I do not see him submitting Jacare Souza, and that being said, I give him little to no chance to take out Jacare Souza, and I still think that's a great bet, putting 160 on Jacare. If you had the money, if I had the extra money laying around, I would actually probably pop before 80 on Jacare Souza to win what I think would be a fairly easy $300. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you have any bets out there for this fight? What do you think about my picks? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? I can't wait to hear your guys' opinion on this and what you would like to see more in these prediction shows. I'm trying to up my game, make this more in depth, so you guys can see at least the last 3 fights from each fighter, the odds, and then give you my analysis. So let me know what I can do to improve this, and what different picks you have, or if you have the same. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.